Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. You've been told that love is meant to hurt, that devotion requires sacrifice, that the ache in your chest means it's real. But what if that's not love at all? What if everything you've been taught, every song, movie, poem, every instinct you followed, is wrong? Carl Jung uncovered a disturbing truth about what happens when you detach from someone you thought you couldn't live without. It's not heartbreak. It's not even grief. It's withdrawal from a chemical, emotional, and spiritual addiction. By the end of this video, you won't just understand why it hurts. You'll understand the hidden force keeping you chained and how to finally break free. This won't be easy, but you need to hear it. What you're feeling isn't love. That all-consuming need, that fire in your gut, that panic when they don't reply, that's not love. It's dependency in disguise. It's the body screaming for its fix. And the worst part? You've been tricked. Not just by culture, but by your own nervous system, by trauma, by wounds you never healed. When you confuse longing with love, when obsession gets called passion, when silence feels like death, it's not because they're your soulmate. It's because they're your drug. You're not loving, you're clinging. And the person you've elevated to the center of your universe isn't healing you. They're reflecting everything unhealed inside you. Carl Jung once said, "Where love rules, there is no will to power." But most relationships aren't ruled by love. They're ruled by unmet needs, hidden fears, and the unconscious hope that someone else can save us from ourselves. Let's be honest, that stomach-turning anxiety when they go quiet, the obsessive checking of messages, the mental replay of conversations, the endless what-ifs, that's not romance, that's addiction. You are in withdrawal, not heartbreak. Love doesn't feel like suffocation. Love doesn't make you beg. Love doesn't feel like gasping for air when they leave the room. That's attachment, not affection. That's fear, not connection. You're not in love. You're in survival mode. You've mistaken intensity for intimacy, pain for depth, drama for devotion. You've been taught that passion should hurt, that love should leave bruises. But that's not passion. That's your shadow. The truth is dark. Jung called it projection. The act of casting your unconscious wounds onto another person, expecting them to complete you, save you, define you. But no one can complete what you've never claimed. And no one can rescue what you refuse to face. You don't love them. You love who you become in their presence. You love the fantasy they fill, the promise they silently represent, that if they stay, you'll finally be enough, that if they love you, you'll finally feel whole. But they were never the source, only a mirror. And you've been trying to climb into that mirror instead of looking at what it reflects. That's why detachment feels like dying. Because somewhere along the way, you gave them the keys to your soul, and when they left, they took your identity with them. Carl Jung called this the shadow of attachment, the part of love we dress up and worship, but never dare to examine. The gifts given out of barter, not generosity. The I miss yous that mean validate me. The way you chain someone to your unspoken fear of abandonment. And then you wonder why it hurts so much to let go. You weren't holding a person. You were holding a mirror, one reflecting your deepest unmet needs. Jung warned us, when we project our unlived life onto another person, we don't love them. We use them. Your abandonment wound becomes their distance. Your insecurity becomes their betrayal. Your lack of self-worth becomes their failure to love you right. But here's the brutal truth. No one is abandoning you. You're abandoning yourself. Every time you choose their comfort over your truth, their presence over your peace, their attention over your purpose, you are making yourself disappear. And the more you beg for love, the less lovable you feel. Because on a deep level, you know it's not love. It's hunger. This isn't heartbreak. It's detox. Your cells have grown addicted to their presence. Your dopamine spiked when they texted. Your cortisol crashed when they pulled away. Now you're sober for the first time, and your body is screaming. Carl Jung called this the night sea journey, a descent into the underworld of your own psyche. It's painful, it's terrifying, but it's necessary. Because you can't meet yourself until you're alone with yourself. And until you meet yourself, you will always be searching for someone else to do it for you. The mind will play tricks on you. You'll romanticize the pain. You'll rewrite the past. You'll convince yourself it wasn't that bad, that you were wrong to walk away. But it's not love calling you back. It's your addiction whispering one more hit. This is your test. Will you reach for the phone at 2 a.m. or will you sit with the ache? Every moment you don't reach out is a moment of healing. Every tear you cry alone is a drop of power returning to you. You are not losing them. You're losing the illusion that you needed them. One day, you'll wake up and your first thought won't be them. One day, you'll laugh, and their absence won't dull the joy. One day, you'll realize the chains weren't on your heart. They were on your perception. That's when the alchemy begins. When you stop missing them and start trusting yourself. When you no longer crave their approval because you've found your own. Detachment doesn't mean you stop loving. It means you start choosing yourself. This is what Carl Jung called individuation. Becoming so complete within yourself that love becomes an offering, not a transaction, a choice, not a crutch. And yes, people will leave. Not because you've become cold, but because your hunger is gone, and they were only drawn to the hunger. Let them go. The ones who stay will meet you on solid ground, in the quiet, in the calm, in the space where love doesn't hurt because it's not trying to fix you. It's honoring you. You will love again, but this time it won't be from need. It will be from wholeness. You'll stop digging in other people's hands and start unearthing the treasure in your own. Because the love you were chasing was never lost. It was buried inside the silence you were afraid to face, inside the stillness you avoided, inside the self you abandoned to be loved. You are not empty. You are spacious. You are not broken. You are becoming. This is the real work, the quiet revolution, the decision you make every day to choose yourself over the echo of their name. And when the dust settles, when the world tells you to move on, you won't just move on. You'll rise. Not because you're over them, but because you've finally come home to yourself. What if everything you were taught about love was a lie? Inspired by the teachings of Carl Jung, this video takes you deep into the uncomfortable truth about emotional dependency, projection, and why what we call love is often just unhealed trauma in disguise. This is not just a breakdown, it's a breakthrough. If you've ever felt consumed by love, devastated by detachment, or haunted by obsession, this is your invitation to finally break free.